It's like he saw, like he thinks I'm famous. How do you work that out?
And the cute lunchbox that you had to sign.
The what? The key?
A little cute lunchbox that somebody asked you to sign.
Yeah, I was in a. This is one of the stranger things about being in LA. You just never know who you're going to run into. I was at this bar called the Whiskey Bar, and I'm sitting there, and this guy, a super rock and rolling guy, comes over and he goes, "Are you Zack?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Come with me, please." I'm like, "What?" So I'm wandering back through this packed bar, and I'm squeezing through people. Excuse me, pardon me. So sorry, I didn't mean to spill your drink. Going back, and I go back to the sort of a back booth, and they're sitting in the back, sort of sitting like this, in full makeup, and their hair is Marilyn Manson. And he's like, "Hey, I'm Brian. How are you? Nice to meet you." It's just like no Marilyn Manson, no like, "Hi, I'm Marilyn Manson." Right? He's just like, "Oh, hey, I'm Brian. How are you?" But he was like in full makeup and everything like that. I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" He's like, "I know this is weird, but I have a Gremlin lunchbox in the trunk of my car. Would you sign it for me?" And I was like, "Yeah. Got a Sharpie?" He's like, "Yeah, we can get a Sharpie." And I went and signed his lunchbox. That's what it's like being me. It's a very, very strange thing, being me. It's very, very odd. Very odd.
Well, since it's Christmas, this is the one.
Another question?
I'm gonna have to charge you extra for this anecdote. I'm gonna put the meter up a little
I
bit.
never want to bore anybody, especially you, but I'm having too much fun, so. Well, Gremlins, for a Christmas movie and for a movie in general, is a really, really dark movie. Well, it's been known throughout the years. It scared the shit out of a lot of us. Yeah. My question is, why do you think it became a Christmas classic? And more than that, what was Gremlins like before Spielberg, the original Chris Columbus script?
Well, when Chris Columbus wrote it, he wrote it because he was living in Manhattan in a terrible apartment, and he would go to sleep at night, and he would hear, I guess, probably rats kind of scrabbling around at night. So he kept feeling that there were these little creatures underneath his bed. So he thought, that's a good idea for a movie, like, somewhere is just take the idea of little creatures under your bed and put that in sort of into a thing. So he did it. He wrote what was essentially a horror movie, and it had things in it. Well, he took it to Spielberg. Spielberg kind of liked aspects of it. There were other aspects he didn't like. For example, there's a scene in the original script, which was cut out, where my mother gets her head cut off, and the head just rolls down the stairs. And Chris Columbus was like, "Do you like that scene?" Spielberg was like, "Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen in the movie. I don't really think that works. I think that's too grim." And they're like, and then there was another sequence where the Gizmo character gets killed off pretty quickly in the movie. And Chris was like, "Did you like that?" And Spielberg was like, "I don't think that's going to happen either. I think you have this great character, and then you get rid of him you kind of prematurely. You should keep him around and be like the sidekick of the kid." So Spielberg Spielberg'd the movie and kind of took a lot of the nasty bits and the rough edges and made it a lot more kind of fun and family friendly sort of. And then Joe Dante came back in and he kept a lot of the darker elements. Like, again, not going to spoil it for the 11 people who haven't seen it, but there's a pretty dark story that Phoebe Cates' character talks about, and there's some just darker undercurrent elements to it. So it's kind of like a dark Christmas movie. But of course, we didn't intend it on being a Christmas movie because it came out in June in America. So I said to Joe Dunn, I said, "Why are you releasing Gremlins in June if it takes place at Christmas?" He goes, "No one wants to see a Christmas movie around Christmas because everyone's thinking about Christmas. You want to see a Christmas movie when it's June and it's hot." And you're like, "Boy, I wish it was cool. I wish there was snow." You're wishing for snow and for Christmas in June. You're not wishing for Christmas at Christmas. You're sick of Christmas at Christmas.
Makes sense.
And I was like, "Okay, I'll buy that. It actually kind of works for me." Yeah.
Well, my last question, finally, I know you're thinking. It's very simple. I mean, people obviously involved in Gremlins, but you had...
Not all. There are 11 people who haven't seen Gremlins.
Minus
For the
11.
more nerdy and geek types, you were an horror icon. You did drama with, I mean, I'm thinking you actually had like almost as Evil Dead scenes with Bruce Campbell. You had dramas with River Phoenix and Molly Ringwald, and all these people. I mean, you have such a different things. I would like you maybe to, like Bill Murray did with when presenting, like which performances would you choose that maybe aren't that easy to find as Gremlins?
Wow.
Three movies that you
Three movies that I'm proud of? Well, certainly the Molly Ringwald one with River Phoenix, that one called Surviving Family in Crisis.
It's such a sad movie.
It's a TV movie that we did in America, but it got a lot of publicity. That's probably the best thing I ever did. There's kind of there's a movie I did called Psychic with Catherine Mary Stewart and Michael Nouri from Flashdance. We shot it in Canada. It's a very nice little thriller that I think is really good from about 1992. I think features one of my better performances. And I don't know, maybe some of my theater work, but that doesn't really count because you can't rent that. You can't rent my theater work.
It's a little far too, but
yeah, those two are really good. I mean, I think Nothing Lasts Forever is pretty good. I did one movie called Cupid, in which I play a killer who's born on Valentine's Day, which of course is very weird because I'm born on Valentine's Day. And I think one of the ways that I got the part was, I said, you know I'm born on Valentine's Day. And they're like, you know every actor's been saying that, right? So I just took my driver's license out and just threw it at the producer. I just took it out and I go, here you go, check it out. He's like, oh my God, he's born on Valentine's Day. So I think maybe that, people are so superstitious in Hollywood that they're like, well, if he's really born on Valentine's, maybe this is the guy if he's really born on maybe this is the person we're looking for, a person who's actually born on Valentine's Day. But I got maybe the best compliment of my career from this movie Cupid, which is, it's just a little straight to DVD thing. I gave a copy to my mom because she wanted to see it, and I said, okay, I'll call you tomorrow and you tell me whether you liked it or not. So I called her the next day. I said, so what'd you think of the movie? She goes, I turned it off after about 45 minutes. I said, was it that bad? She goes, no. She goes, it was not a great movie. Let's not go crazy. She goes, but I turned it off because I couldn't recognize anything about my son anymore.
Wow.
It's like you weren't a person that I knew, and I found it disturbing, so I shut the movie off. And I thought, wow, I can fool my mom now. I'm gonna learn a few tricks. Mom doesn't even recognize me.
Well,
Thanks.
here we go. So I'm gonna give you my own microphone.
Now that you've exhausted your questions, never-ending stream of questions. Those were excellent questions, though. So.